Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKakadash, Yahweh being the true name for Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being named for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone that teaches truth and will well, and citations to you, hopeful likeness, truth, and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yosap. Come to you to now listen to the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And updated end times and events. All right, so the U.S. government is basically back open now. The final Senate passed their votes, passed the Senate, landed back on the president's desk, and he's the last person that signs it into place, and that happened. So, looks like it's about to open up. Okay, so it was shut down for 42 days. 42 days, so almost a month and a half. All right, and the damage has been done with this. You still got people that are waiting to get their EBT funds and benefits. They were told that that's going to take some time, a couple days. So the damage has already been done there. And ultimately, what does this mean, and what to expect next? Well, I like to look at it as something called a drawback. Okay, you have a drawback, which is when the water pulls away from the shore before a giant tsunami wave comes. Another thing too, looked up, is something called a reverse storm surge. It says water can also be sucked away from shore prior to a storm surge. This was the case on the western Florida coast in 2017, just before Hurricane Irma made landfall, uncovering land usually underwater. This phenomenon is known as reverse storm surge or a negative storm surge. Okay, and both of these take place, these events happen before either the tsunami hits or the hurricane hits. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is a reverse storm surge when it came to this whole shutdown, these politics, because what's getting ready to come down the pipeline is still about to cause a lot of unrest and chaos. For one thing, they're bringing in that digital ID, starting to push that heavy. Canada is going towards it now. First it was the UK, now it's Canada. All right, so both of those countries, the United States pretty much does what they do, or they do what the United States does. Okay, so we can expect that to come here, which is going to be a big requirement for a lot of people to get. All right, Apple's already created the app for the digital ID. All right, so that's here, and then his big beautiful bill, all of that takes into effect basically after January. All right, so after the new year, all those laws he wrote taking effect. So all his laws on requirements to get EBT, how much hours you're going to have to work, that's going to take to effect, as well as the Section 8 laws. If you've been on it 2 years, you're done. You're out of there. So we can see, depending on how they're going to do it, I don't know yet, the rules and what they want to do with as far as that 2-year cap on Section 8. If that means that if people have already been on it 2 years, at the time that law goes out, that means they just immediately get kicked off, or they're going to give them some time. I don't know. We're going to see. But these are things that's coming down the pipeline. All right. We're also approaching the collapse of the United States dollar. So that's also going to cause extreme amount of poverty and riots and chaos behind that. Okay, they're still going with their deportation stuff. ICE is still very active. That's still happening. Okay, so all these things are increasing, and as well as the tensions with war, the United States and Venezuela. Okay, you got Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan. All right, now Russia's sending missiles and equipment over here to Venezuela. So you got that Third World War building up heavy too. And then, of course, you got Israel and Iran, All these wars are intensifying and building up. So, hey, this is just a reverse storm surge. It may look like everything's kind of cool, but you can still feel something's abnormal. The water's receding, but you got a lot of free fish flopping on the beach and stuff you can grab real quick during that time where it's receding. So people think you might be in good case until shit really comes down and hits. And that's when, you know, people are going to find out what times that we're in. And the fear is going to set in. Okay? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay, so when everybody thinks everything's cool, that's when something catastrophic is going to hit and take place. And we can expect that, you know. They're getting ready to end the shutdown, or it's basically ended at this point. All right, and then there are also talks of these stimulus checks coming out. So you're going to have people in the masses that's going to get straight deceived. They'll think that everything's going to be cool, you know, because of what they're bringing. And that's if the checks even go out. They might not actually go out, man. Because I read it up, like, they need like $300 billion to give out $2,000 to everybody that they want to give it out to. But they only got 90 billion in funds to do that. So, yeah, he might just be blowing smoke with that 2K stimmy check, unless somehow, you know, they pull the money from elsewhere that they're just not talking about. But these things are going to happen, and everybody's going to think that things are going to start looking up or going back to normal until after, you know, around December and January, man. Because one thing you got to remember, this current ending of the shutdown is only temporary until January 30th. If they don't meet all the agreements and expectations between now and then, the government's going to shut back down again, which is perfect timing for them. Open up the government, give all these people, you know, time to sink in all their money back into the system for the holidays. People are traveling, buying all the food, okay, Black Friday shopping, you know, all of that stuff is it brings a lot of revenue. So of course they can, you know, how convenient all of a sudden it opens back up right before Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, you know. And they'll keep, what they're going to do is keep it open to get paid from all the taxes and money made from shopping, and then shut it right back down again, and this time it not open back up. And I can definitely foresee this stuff taking place, because there's a lot of grievous laws that's going to be activated come after the new year. Like I said, everything he said he wanted to do in that big beautiful bill is about to be rolled out. So this is just the calm before the big storm hits. You're seeing the water recede a little bit. People are getting a little bit comfortable, but they know that something's off, something strange. Not sure if they should trust it or not. You know, then they let the guard down, and they get stupid and silly and go out there and hang around the beach area instead of evacuating like you should. And what happens? The hurricane hits or the tsunami hits. Sudden destruction is going to come. Okay? This is Mark 13:33. It says, "Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is." So you don't know what time they're going to actually, you know, fully kick things off. So you have to take heed. You have to continue to watch and pray. So pay attention to what's going on. All right? And don't get too comfortable and think that everything's about to be cool, because this is just the calm before the storm, man. I think that through the spirit, I can see that around January, I'm pretty sure they're going to shut down again. You know, they might reopen. It just could be the dollar could just collapse. But, you know, they really are about to start pushing this digital ID heavy, heavy, heavy. Okay, so that's knocking at the door heavy too, as far as the prophecy of Revelation 13 and 16, because that digital ID is eventually going to go on that little device, and they're going to want that implanted in your hand and your head. So yeah, man, just keep watch. That's the biggest takeaway from this, and know that there's a lot more, you know, um, upset stuff that's going to come down the pipeline once this year progresses. So just because they're opening things back up don't mean everything about to be cool and sweet. And also there's a transition period to kind of get everything back and up and running. So, but a lot of damage has been done behind this. A lot. So we could just expect more things to come, more judgment. So you're going to need divine intervention. Pray to Yahweh Shem Shai for that type of protection. And in the times ahead, to make sure you're safe and you're well fed and you have everything you need, because you're going to need the Lord's help. All right. So with that, those were lessons edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Shem Shai, by Shem Kakadash. Demonish our apostles, elders, great millstone, Natasha, truth and will well. Salutation, hopefully, that puts truth and sincerity. Shalom.